excessive use of force by police has come out strongly in the anti-government protests witnessed from March this year that have claimed the lives of 30 people, according to a civil society report. After weeks of unrest, calm was restored in the country following truce talks between President Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga. In our two-part special report tonight, dubbed Policing Police, our political reporter Tracy Ocheng looks into the state of policing in Kenya. Here are the details.
Police in any civilization play an important role in serving and protecting the communities in which they're embedded. The police also have a unique position in that they stand between the government and their communities that determine their ability to fulfill their mandate and still maintain a cordial relationship with the public, the latter proving to be an elusive dream in Kenya. Let's take a look at the genesis of the hostile relationship between the public and the police in Kenya. The Kenya Police Force morphed into the National Police Service that was initially rooted in the British colonial system, formed as a colonial police force to repress and politically dominate native populations. This anti-people temperament became evident when colonial governor Sir Evelyn Baring declared a state of emergency on October 1952 after a loyal Kikuyu chief, Kongo Waroyo, was killed. This would see tens of thousands of Mau Mau, 2,000 civilians, and around 600 members of the security forces killed. Mau Mau uprising was destroyed, but with the combined efforts of 10,000 British and African soldiers, 20,000 police, and 25,000 Kikuyu home guards. The rebellion and the manner in which the British colonists dealt with the movement further incited the campaign for Kenya's independence. A new dawn for Kenya was nigh. The white settlers finally would be ejected, and a set of African leaders who are Modoa Nyoba, Jadhot, Waingo would be installed. However, one of the most significant challenges was the inherited colonial police force that needed to be transformed from one that is anti-people to a national police protective of and owned by the people of Kenya. The 2010 constitution would see a rebirth of the country, and especially in the police sector. Despite the emancipation from the colonial masters, the police force was still used by the state as a weapon against the masses. This was rampant during the 24 years of the late President Moi's regime. The 90s witnessed an all-time high in political assassinations and grave human rights violations, with the police force in the center of it all. The push for multi-party democracy added fuel to calls for reforms in the police, with the culmination of it coming after Kenya witnessed its darkest political moments in the 2008 post-election violence that left more than 1,000 dead, with over 400 shot by police. This gave way to a new conversation after the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 that called for changes in the form and spirit of the police. The National Police Service is established under Article 243 of the Constitution, with roles that include complying with constitutional standards of human rights and freedoms, preventing corruption, discipline, and fostering relationships. So how effective have these reforms been, and where are we today?
Vijana huyu kazi ya askari. Umpatie bunduki. Kesho atapiga vijana wenu risasi.
In what can be termed as a return to the dark days, or state policing, as some would call it, the Kenyan police displayed unrestraint by posing as the anti-people police force of the past. In an exclusive interview, GBS TV Africa spoke to IPOA director Elema Halake on the recent spate of police action against demonstrators and what action the authority will take.
For what we've seen in the recent mandamanos, IPOA has documented, IPOA has taken up complaints, IPOA has taken cases up, IPOA is investigating, and IPOA's investigation will be complete. Yeah, and we intend to fast track those investigations such that we can get clearly, which police was responsible for what.
The police have received a thumbs up for their job in containing the demonstrations and destruction of property from top government leadership. Amnesty International released a report on 20th July noting at least 30 cases of police killings of protesters from March 20th and 27th when the anti-government protests began to Sabasaba protests and the recent ones in July 19.
Our monitors and verification methods so that we do not paint a wrong picture because our aim is that these people, these victims, get justice according to the law. And so it is upon the government, actually, which under Article 21 must fulfill, protect, promote human rights. It is upon the government to ensure that these people get justice.
The rebranding of the police force to police service, the independence of its governance as established in Article 245 of our Constitution, and the creation of oversight authorities like the Internal Affairs Unit embedded in the police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority would lead one to conclude that the police would no longer be deployed by the state to repress the people of Kenya, right? Despite reforms on police taking effect with the new constitution and with Kenya's independence, extrajudicial killings, forced disappearances, and entrenched impunity are common occurrences that have widened the rift between the people of Kenya and the symbols of law enforcement, alias the police. Tracy Ochieng reporting for GBS News.